Bienvenidos. Hoy te enseñaré una técnica novedosa para aprender inglés que cambiará tu forma de estudiar para siempre. Este video te guiará paso a paso en este nuevo enfoque. Si te gusta lo que ves, no olvides suscribirte, dar like y dejarnos un comentario. Vamos allá.
The Rabbit and the Speedy Turtle. Once upon a time, in a faraway forest, there lived a rabbit named Speedy. He was known by everyone for his speed. His legs were so fast that not even the wind could catch up with him. Every day, Speedy boasted that he was the fastest in the forest, challenging anyone who dared to compete with him. One day, a new turtle appeared in the forest. His name was Slow. He was unlike any other turtle you had ever seen. Even though his shell was heavy, his legs were surprisingly strong. But the most curious thing of all was that when Slow walked, the ground trembled gently, as if a mysterious force was propelling him. Speedy, upon seeing Slow, laughed out loud. "A turtle? In my forest? You must be joking," he exclaimed mockingly. Slow, with a calm smile, approached the rabbit and said quietly, "I may not be as fast as you, but I have something to offer. How about we have a race?" Quick couldn't believe his ears. "A race? You don't stand a chance, Slow," he replied without thinking twice. But the turtle, with his serene look, just nodded and said, "Tomorrow, at dawn, we will meet at the big oak tree. The finish line will be the river that runs through the forest." The next day, the entire forest was full of curious animals. They wanted to see how Quick would outrun Slow in a matter of seconds. The sun had barely risen when both competitors stood at the starting line. "On three," shouted the owl, who was acting as judge. "1, 2, 3. Quick shot off like lightning, leaving Slow far behind. As he ran, he loudly mocked the turtle, "You'll never catch me, Slow. This race is mine." But as Quick ran faster and faster, something strange began to happen. The forest around him blurred, the trees seemed to grow and stretch, and the path he followed became longer and longer. No matter how fast he ran, the goal never came closer. Meanwhile, Slow kept up her steady pace. Every step she took, the ground beneath her paws shone with a soft light. It seemed like the forest was guiding her, protecting her. She didn't hurry, she just kept going, calmly and determinedly. Exhausted and confused, Quick decided to stop for a moment to catch his breath. He lay down under a tree, sure that he had plenty of time before Slow arrived. But as he closed his eyes, sleep overcame him. When he woke up, the sun was already high in the sky. Desperate, Quick jumped from his spot and ran towards the goal. But when he reached the river, he saw something he couldn't believe. Slow was there, calm, enjoying the cool water. "How?" Quick stammered, not understanding what had happened. Lenta looked at him with a kind smile and said, "It's not always the fastest who wins, Quick. Sometimes, the secret is to stay the course, to not give up, and to keep going, step by step." Quick lowered his head, feeling a mix of shame and admiration. He had learned a valuable lesson. From that day on, he stopped bragging and began to respect the pace of others, understanding that everyone has their own path and their own time. And so, in the heart of the forest, everyone learned that true strength is not always measured in speed, but in perseverance and the ability to keep going, no matter the obstacles. The story might have ended here, but the forest was full of secrets, and Quick, with his new understanding, was about to discover that his race with Slow was just the beginning of a much bigger adventure, one that would take him to the most magical corners of the forest. But that is another story still being written. Quick decided to stay by the river, thinking about what he had learned. But, as he watched the water flow, he noticed something strange. There was a golden glow moving beneath the surface, as if a ray of sunlight had been caught in the water. Curious, he moved closer to the edge and, very carefully, dipped a paw into the river. As he touched the water, he felt a warm energy run through his body. Suddenly, the river began to whisper his name, Quick. Quick. Surprised, Rapido stepped back, but the whispering grew louder. Follow the river, Rapido. There is a secret you must discover. Although a little scared, curiosity was stronger. Rapido looked at Lenta, who remained calmly at his side, as if she had not heard anything. Did you hear that too? He asked her. Lenta nodded slowly and said, This river holds many mysteries. Some say that those who follow it find answers to questions they didn't even know they had. But to discover its secrets, you must be willing to leave your fears behind and trust your instinct. Without thinking twice, Rapido decided to follow the course of the river. He knew he couldn't do it alone, so he asked Lenta to accompany him. She agreed, but warned him, the path will not be easy. There will be trials that will test your heart more than your legs. Rapido, full of determination, nodded, and together they began to follow the river, going deeper and deeper into the deep forest. As they moved forward, the landscape around them changed. The trees grew taller, with leaves of colors they had never seen before. Luminous flowers sprouted in their wake, and small, glowing beings fluttered above their heads, as if showing them the way. After a long journey, the river split into two. One arm of the river was clear and calm, while the other was dark and turbulent. A deep voice echoed from the forest, To continue, you must choose. One path will lead you to truth, the other to confusion. Rapido looked at Lenta, waiting for some sign. She closed her eyes for a moment, breathing deeply, and then pointed at the dark river. That is the path we must take, she said calmly. Rapido hesitated. Why not take the easier path? The clearer one? But he remembered Lenta's words, sometimes, the secret is to stay the course, to not give up, and to keep going, step by step. So, trusting his companion, he stepped forward into the dark river. As he entered the turbulent waters, he felt a chill run through him. Each step was harder than the last, as if the river was trying to drag him down. But Lenta, at his side, continued to move forward with determination, never leaving him behind. Suddenly, a gigantic shadow emerged from the water, forming the shape of a huge dragon made of water. "Who dares to cross my domain?" the creature roared, its voice shaking the ground. Rapido felt fear rise in his heart, but Lenta looked at him firmly. "Do not be overcome by fear, Rapido. Remember who you are and why you are here." Armed with those words, Rapido took a deep breath and stepped forward. "We are Rapido and Lenta, and we seek the secret that the river holds. We are not afraid." The dragon stared at them, its eyes glowing with a blue light. Then, his expression changed from fierce to a friendly smile. "Only the brave can pass," he said before vanishing into 1,000 drops of water. The dark river began to calm down, and before them appeared a luminous cave, its walls shining with a golden light similar to the one Rapido had seen in the water at first. Without hesitation, the two friends entered the cave. Inside, they found an ancient chest. Rapido carefully opened it, and to his surprise, instead of gold or jewels, the chest contained a mirror. But it was not just any mirror. When Rapido looked into it, he saw not only his reflection, but also all the paths he had traveled, all the decisions he had made, and the lessons he had learned. And behind his image, he saw a new path, one he had not yet traveled. The mirror spoke to him, "This is the true treasure. The knowledge of who you are and who you can become. Now you know that speed is not the only thing that matters, but the heart with which you face each challenge." Quick then understood that his adventure was not over. There was much more to discover, not only in the forest, but within himself. And with Slow by his side, he knew there was no path he could not walk. And so, the story continued, with Quick and Slow exploring the mysteries of the forest, learning together, and proving that true strength lies in unity, courage, and the wisdom gained with each step. But this adventure is only one part of a journey that never ends, a journey that continues on, beyond the limits of the forest, beyond what the eyes can see. Because in every corner, in every river, and on every path, there will always be a new secret waiting to be discovered. And you, just like Quick and Slow, can find it too, if you are willing to keep going.
Y con eso terminamos. Si te gustó este vídeo, asegúrate de suscribirte al canal. Además, te invitamos a ver el siguiente vídeo que te dejamos por aquí, para seguir mejorando tu nivel de inglés a base de práctica y repetición. Nos vemos allí.